Today we'll have a look at a pen that was sent to me by B.R.E Direct. Thank you, B.R.E Direct. I think this is a pen that people are interested in seeing reviewed, hence the request. Because I have received quite a couple of review requests for this, and it's not so strange. This is the fountain pen made by Herbin. And we know Herbin from its inks, established in 1670, purportedly the oldest ink manufacturer still in business. They made a rollerball a number of years ago. I remember purchasing one on the DC Pen Show, and now they have launched their own fountain pen a few years later, and it is a very, very similar model to the rollerball, except it's a fountain pen. Okay, here we go. This is the pen. It's a small one. This is not a large pen, but I think it has some interesting features. Okay, I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then I'll do a writing sample. Start at the top of the pen. Same thing as with the rollerball, very shiny finial. Then you have the clip. I still have the barcode on there. And as you can see, the pen is transparent, sort of demonstrator model, and it has Herbin on the cap right there. The clip is very springy and springs back too. That's very cool. It doesn't bend. We have the barrel. You may see water in the barrel. I'll come back to that in a second. It uncaps like that. There is nothing on the back of the barrel except for 3 little holes. I'll come back to that in a second too. And then you have the section. Now this is a very small pen. It's a pocket pen meant to be used with international short cartridges, which Herbin makes apart from their bottled ink. And as you can see, when I hold it, it disappears in my hand. I cannot even use that unposted. Fortunately, it posts very securely, and then it becomes a decently sized pen. It's not really large, it's decently sized. Okay, we have a nib, and the nib is a very simple chrome colored nib. It says Iridium Point Germany, has some scroll work, nothing fancy about it. Cool thing is that the section is transparent too, so you can see the nib and feed as they are pushed into the section, and then you have the barrel. And that was one of the things I actually wanted to point out, and what I don't like about it, come back to that in a second. Section, nothing fancy, put in standard international short cartridge, and you just screw the whole thing back together and you can write. Again, not a large pen. Now, what do I like about it? What do I not like about it? First of all, when I saw this pen, especially when I saw the nib and the section, it reminded me of another small pen, the Chibi. And the Chibi is available on jet pens. Now, the Herbin pen, this costs about €12.50. Alright, you can convert it to whatever currency you prefer. This is the Chibi. Okay, the Chibi is a jetpens.com exclusive. The Chibi costs $3. The caps are different, but as far as I can tell, these pens are identical. Yes, one is in a sort of neon, yellowish green neon color, but down to the section, the feed, the nibs, and even the 3 little holes in the end of the barrel, the shape of the barrel, and I'm unscrewing them here. The threads on the section, they are identical. So if you are thinking of getting this pen, you may consider ordering this from Jet Pens, except that you will get this neon color, and you will get a plastic clip. If you really want a nice metal clip, you should get the Herbin pen. Okay, having said that, I found the Herbin nib to be a little smoother than the Chibi. However, as far as I can tell, those nibs are identical. I don't know if the camera will really pick it up. I try to make it focus, but believe you me, these are identical nibs. Okay, having said that, that's not necessarily something to like or dislike. I'm not saying that Herbin overprices. They put a metal clip on. I don't think that costs the additional $10 or whatever it is. But in any case, it is a solid little pen. It will take standard international short cartridges, which you can put in, which you can refill, but it also takes a Monteverde mini converter, which you can pick up from a lot of places. I have one right here. I had that in the Chibi, and as you can see, it fits. It just fits, but it is a match made in heaven because it fits perfectly well in the Chibi. An exact same thing for this pen. Okay, so if you want to use a converter, pick up one of those Monteverde mini converters. I can also fit in one of those Kaweco squeeze fill converters, but I don't like those so much because they don't hold that much ink. Not that the Monteverde mini converter holds so much ink, but I do think it holds more than the Kaweco converter. Okay, having said that, things I like about it. Small pocket pen, can be tossed around, can be forgotten in a restaurant. You probably won't cry over this. It's a very simple pen. A nice model, also nice to gift someone who wants to start using pens, isn't sure whether he or she wants to do that, etc. When I say pens, of course, I mean fountain pens. So all of that is nice. Now, things I don't like about it so much. Well, there is a significant price difference with Chibi, which must be explained by something, if nothing else, than business model. You do get the metal clip, that is nice, but what I don't really care for is this little metal ring that Herbin introduced. The section is decent enough, it's pleasant enough to hold, but that little metal ring, when I unscrew my pen, the little metal ring falls out. Okay, and I've had this a couple of times now. It's a loose accessory that doesn't really stick. I don't really get the point of that. The second thing I don't like so much is these 3 holes. I'm guessing that is part of the injection molding procedure or whatever they used, but this pen screams to be used as an eyedropper fill pen, right? Because you have much more ink capacity than any converter will ever give you, and it's completely clear, so it's a lot of fun to use this with a nicely colored ink. But you have 3 little holes there which stop you from doing that. Now what I did is I took some Revell model paint, and they have these little blue things with a needle attached to it. You can pick them up from Amazon, whatever you use. And I just put some drops of the glue in these 3 little holes, and it worked perfectly fine. I let it dry in the sun for an hour, and now I can fill it up with whatever I want. So if you want to do that, that's a tip you may find useful. Okay, having said all of that, let's take a couple of measurements, and I'll show you how they write, how it writes. And as I said, I found this nib to be very adequate. Bear in mind, it's an inexpensive pen. Don't expect a fantastically smooth writer, but it does a job, and I found it a lot more pleasant than the Chibi. Okay, and that may have been because I got a lemon Chibi, I don't know. Measurements. The pen weighs 12 grams in total, 6 grams for the cap, 6 grams for the body. Capped, it has a length of 117.5 millimeters, that's 4.62 inches. Uncapped, it's very small, 98.2 millimeters, that's 3.86 inches. Posted, it's 139.9 millimeters, or 5.5 inches. Section diameter is 9.8 to 11.8 millimeters, that's 0.38 to 0.46 inches. And the barrel has a diameter of 8.2 to 10.2 millimeters, that is 0.32 to 0.40 inches. Alright, having said all of that, I think we need to see it in action. That's what we're going to do next. I hope this was useful so far, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Okay, here we go with the Herbin pen. And as you can see, I have now eyedroppered it, and it holds about 3 milliliters of ink. Herbin fountain pen. The nib is a fine medium, and this is Pelikan Royal Blue, aka Königsblau. Okay. You feel some feedback as you write, but there's no scratch. It's not unpleasant. Which is quite nice. Fast writing, as you can see, the pen keeps up very well, so that's very pleasant, good flow. Now, not the wettest writer out there, It's not terrible either, but this is not really a spectacularly wet nib. I would probably make this a little wetter for my personal use. Okay, line variation. As you can see, there is some to be had. This is not advertised as a flex nib or semi-flex, but you can squeeze out a little bit if you're careful. Reverse writing. It's actually pretty pleasant with this pen. It's not as scratchy as some other pens are, but of course it is drier. Well, that's pretty much all there's to it. So a funky little pen, cute to carry around. Thanks a lot to B.R.E Direct for sending me this one. And I hope this was useful. And I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.